안녕하세요. 누구나 경제적 자유를 이룰 수 있도록 내부자 정보를 가장 빠르게 알려드리는 이자입니다. 지난 영상에 이어서 오늘은 일드맥스 CEO가 말하는 최적의 매수 시기를 소개해드리려고 합니다. 어디서도 들을 수 없는 정보이니 영상 끝까지 시청해주세요.
For us, we look at these as longer-term holds. When you're trading these kinds of ETFs would mean like entry and exits of these. If you really wanted to be active, you'd have to pay attention to where we sold our covered calls, if we've capped the upside, how much income we're going to generate. But that's quite a bit of work. Our general idea, our general consensus is if they are meant to be aggressive and meant to deliver alternative income, we think they should be held in the portfolios all the time. Now, if someone is thinking about, do I buy before the dividend or after the dividend? Actually, I always like to say to buy right after the ETF goes ex-dividend because the price has dropped and you end up buying more shares. If you buy right before the dividend distribution, you'll get cash and then you're just going to go back in and buy the more shares anyway. And that leads me to kind of the most important piece about investing with the YieldMax products. It's very important to reinvest dividends. Use a DRIP, which stands for a dividend reinvestment program, that your broker offers if they do offer it for these tickers, because it's important to consistently reinvest. Otherwise, you're just divesting your position to cash over time, right? If we're going to have 3, 4, 5% a month yields or distributions, you're just essentially taking, letting the ticker drop for you by that amount and then not doing anything with that cash. You're deliberately leaving it as cash. So we would recommend reinvesting and really reallocating across your. Yes, a few months ago, we launched maybe 2 months ago, we launched the YieldMax Fund of Funds. There's two of them. The first is the YieldMax Universe, which is all of our YieldMax ETFs, all of our covered call single stock ETFs in one fund. That ticker is YMAX. That is really designed for the investor, as we believe, who wants to, be invested in YieldMax, but doesn't want to take single stock risk. I actually, as an advisor, like to use that fund for my clients more than even just individual tickers. Maybe I'll add a little bit here and there if I like to have emphasis on a single stock. However, the YMAX product gives you exposure to all of our ETFs in one convenient fund. So we think that's the first one. The second fund of funds we launched was the YMAG. That's the Magnificent Seven. And so those are just where we hold the YieldMax ETFs of the 7 Magnificent Seven. So if you remember the Magnificent Seven, we'll see if I can get it off the top of my head. You've got Tesla, NVIDIA, Apple, Meta, Google. Those are the 7 that are in the YMAG fund. So if you just want focus on the Magnificent Seven, great, you could use YMAG. The other fund that we launched recently was YieldMax Ultra Fund, YieldMax Ultra, which is ticker ULTY. This is live about 3 weeks at this point. This is what I would say a little less constrained on the underlying tickers that we use. We have the ability to change our underlying holdings. And in this fund, we look for stocks that have high volatility, where we could sell options for a higher amount of premium than we can in really any of our other tickers. Sometimes some of our existing tickers may find their way into it, but it's a basket of 15 to 20 stocks that we follow the YieldMax approach for. So it's naturally a little more diversified. And again, but it should generate higher yield because the tickers we're using, the underlying stocks that we're using in Ulti are more volatile and have higher volatilities. So right now, the portfolio includes stocks like MicroStrategies, which is MSTR, Super Microcomputers, SMCI. It might include some Coinbase. It might include some other individual tickers. I think we had Groupon in it at one point. Carvana is in it. So it is a basket of more volatile tickers. So that one by far is our most aggressive strategy, but we also believe that the yield should be higher on that fund as well.
이자 앱에서는 일드맥스 ETF의 분배금 정보를 우리나라에서 가장 먼저 알려드리고 있어요. 아래 설명란 링크에 이자 앱을 다운로드 받으실 수 있습니다.